Okay, so I was asked the question, what about those people who are utterly devoted to spiritual work and to God or the infinite or enlightenment, but have not had a mystical experience? And if I can speak to that. Well, here's my view, even though it sounds quite dualistic, it's taking the thing karma. So I'd say many people, especially people with spiritual intensity, from what I know with Hawkins' research, have had prior past lifetimes of spiritual dedication, and have been quite devoted, or may even been on the Buddhist path. I think a lot of people have had a previous lifetime of Buddhism, or could be had a Christian mystic saint as their I forgot, I don't know what you call them, the head of the order, like Saint Francis. Saint Francis, who says it's in dying one is born to eternal life. What you're looking for is where you're looking from. He was a Christian saint. But if you were within his presence, and when he's saying to you, it's in dying, to his trainee, I think they're monks, aren't they? I'm not an expert in Christianity. As St. Francis says, it's in dying, you're born to eternal life. And uh, what you're looking for, students, what you're looking for is where you're looking from. Now, he's in the presence, he's in that infinite presence, and he's a Christian. So if he's saying to students, I mean, I'm sure some of them would have probably recognized, yes, I am that. That thing behind my thoughts and my body, that is what I am. How did I think I was my thoughts and my body? So that's a Christian mystic. Now, like so anyway, why am I saying that? Because people would have had past lifetimes, even in Christianity or any religion, where they might have had a mystic or enlightened teacher, who would speak to them and the students, and they may have experienced. And actually, I'm not talking on the question. The question is, what if you've not had an experience of that? So, what if you are not lucky, but there was something in you that wanted to give absolute devotion, but you've never experienced the infinite? I think that's very, very good. I mean, a lot of these spiritual orders, whether it's Christian or Buddhist or whatever it is, they do have like, I think, what I've heard is like, even to join a monastery, a Christian monastery, shall we say, or a Buddhist monastery, it's required. You're willing to sacrifice a lot to join the order, to join the monastery, the Buddhist, the Christian monastery. You're willing to give that up. You're willing to give this up. You're willing to give all of those things. Then you can join us in spiritual devotion and be intense, be willing to sacrifice all those things your ego wants, Christian or Buddhist or whatever. Hindu, I'm sure, is the same. And so you have to sacrifice everything to get that higher order of spiritual. So you develop spiritual muscle of intensity to God, to Buddhahood, to whatever it is, to clearing your karma for enlightenment. And then you come back this lifetime, but you've got there's a spiritual intensity, even though you're born, a spiritual intensity for spiritual discovery and intense spiritual devotion and work. And so in the Rig Veda, it says all those who call on God, God will answer. Whatever, doesn't matter what name you use for it. It's like you're devoted. You're devoted to divinity, not to a person, place, or situation. And you call like divinity, I don't know, but I'm 100% devoted to you, and I will spend my life in devotion to you to get to know you, whether you call it God, Buddhahood, the infinite. And that devotion will then mean that when there's that devotion for that, and you haven't had a mystical experience yet, then it's like divinity will bring, I'm sure, yeah, I mean, in my experience as well, when you're devoted to that, the teacher will come. Eventually, the right teacher will come that will take you there. Because you're calling on divinity. Of course, divinity is going to organize the right teacher for you. I mean, absolutely. So it might take a while of devotion, and your ego may take you down to the wrong teachers and the wrong spiritual groups because you're not yet done enough clearing, so that and you have to do a bit of clearing before you get the right teacher, it seems. But you'll get there. So those who devote themselves to God, be still and know I am God. Or I like St. Francis, I forget what he said now. I said it a few minutes ago. And yeah, in dying, one is born to eternal life. Or you can't escape this world, but and if you're holding on to any attachment, So devotion. So when you're devoted, even if you've not had it, if you're devoted to Buddha's teacher and you seek enlightenment, if you're devoted to in Christianity, completely devoted to giving your life in service to God and to hopefully you'll be directed, be still and know that I'm God. Or recognize St. Francis and do a bit of reading on St. Francis and try and get an understanding. What has to die? It's in dying one is born to eternal life. I think someone's okay. I can deal with that. So you the right teachers and the infinite will come. Just be devoted to that, even if you've not experienced it, and the right teachers, situations, and things will eventually come to you. You may be led astray because your ego is still quite thorough, but your devotion will take you to the end.